Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Tipsy Ghosts. We're your tipsy hosts, Sarah, and Lindsey.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Spooky season is also officially over, so
I know.
it's a little sad, a little somber in here.
But
I still have my skeleton pillow, though, behind me.
That will be out for the rest of the year.
Thank you. It'll be Christmas.
Forever
I'm like,
spooky
skeletons.
season.
It is like forever spooky season in this room.
It is.
But with the closing of spooky season means that my birthday's coming.
Woo!
Yay!
And it's a little hard for me to get excited about birthdays,
Yes.
you know, as I approach 40. But speaking of 40, we've planned a trip for my 40th birthday.
We have. And it's a year away.
It is, yeah.
You're not
is.
turning 40 this year.
That is true. But because of the location that we chose, you had to plan really early.
And the timing.
Yes, yeah. So we're going to go to Salem, Massachusetts. I had to clarify because the other day somebody was like, oh, Oregon?
What?
Like, no.
No. What
That
is
would
the
be-
famous Salem?
That would be
Beautiful
Get outta
as
here.
well.
It would
Yes.
be.
However,
But that's not
We're about
anybody
them
who
witches.
knows me. Yeah, come on.
we are a part of a clan.
Coven.
Okay.
A clan is like Ireland.
They have witches in Ireland.
I think it's still covens in Ireland.
I mean, you're right. I was just trying to defend myself.
Okay, all right.
We are a part of a coven.
There we go.
So we have to go meet our sisters.
We're going to meet Sarah's past life, one of her lives.
We know we're in the same coven because we
Do
have
you
the same
think-
The
moles.
same moles.
On an arm.
I forgot that. On our right arms, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's how we found out.
I have a logistical question.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you were alive back then
Mm-hmm.
and you died and were buried there,
She
Okay.
was
and
alive
then
back then.
you
It's true. I was.
are here now and you go there and you go and visit just a random cemetery and it happens to be your cemetery where your
Oh my
past life
God.
is buried,
This
is
very-
that
My brain is tripping.
is that going to open a portal?
What?
Are you going to become a mega witch?
TBD? I'll find out. You might just see me like in this spiral of leaves. I'll hold my arm up and it'll be like, and then I'll magically transform and I'll have the most beautiful witch
Your long
outfit
black
on.
dress is going to
Yes.
blow in the wind with your long curled hair and your black hat.
Everybody's going to be watching. We're like, it's fine. Everything's
We've been
fine.
waiting for this.
She's okay.
No, knowing me, it'll like swirl and I'll end up like the witch, the hag
With the
with
ward.
nose and the wart.
I'm going to be like, Sarah, get it together.
So yeah, I really think that that's a good possibility that might happen.
I'm excited. I'm excited to do all like the
can't.
supernatural type things,
Yeah.
like get readings, go
Because
see spooky stuff.
We are going during spooky season next year.
Yeah, we're
are.
going to go in October, so slightly early,
right
but
in the thick of it.
right in the thick of it.
We're not going Halloween weekend. We're going to go
Two
the
weeks
week
before.
a week or two before.
It's Halloween weekend.
Okay, I'm so sorry for that. So we are still going during spooky season, and these places apparently book up a year in advance.
That's right, because I was looking and they were already saying that there's only like 28% of properties left for
Yeah.
that time slot that you're looking for. Let me tell you, they take it very seriously up in Salem.
They
They
sure
have
do.
like, was looking on some of the hotels and I think I sent it to you guys, but
Yeah.
they have like a whole like procedure list.
You have to basically either have already been there
Yes.
or you have to win a lottery.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Returning visitors, they say, get first priority of booking rooms. We're like,
Yeah.
but how do you become a returning visitor?
I can't get in. Just let me in. But our little house is so cute. It looks so colonial, like it belongs from Hocus Pocus. This little pink house.
So if you guys have been to Salem, tell us about all the things we need to do, places we need to go. We're going to do all the spooky things.
Let us know if Sarah needs to avoid all cemeteries just in case.
We're going to go to the museum,
We don't know the
obviously.
procedure.
I don't want to morph too many times.
Mhm.
I mean, I might scare people. Just kidding. There's probably lots of people morphing into witches.
Yes, there's
in
probably
Salem.
lots of them getting in touch with their witchy
Yes.
side.
Should we bring our familiars?
Oh God! Like
I-
live?
I was going to bring
Stuff
Lucy.
them in the no. What would your familiar be?
Lucy.
Okay,
She just said.
I know, but I didn't know if that was like a for real answer.
Your familiar is blind and deaf.
And she currently has a cold.
She has a
Aw,
cold.
poor baby. What is your familiar? What would you say?
I would want to have an owl as my familiar. Oh.
That's unoriginal, but
Okay,
I
I'm
like
sorry. No, I don't know. I think they're cool. I don't like cats. I'm obviously not going to pick a cat as my familiar. So
See, that's why I think you should pick a cat.
I don't like rats or mice. I don't want that as a
Who
familiar.
likes rat? Well, I guess some
Right.
people
So
do.
what else do I have?
I mean, you could pick like a moose.
Why is that where you're putting
Oh,
in Salem? We're going to
Yes.
pick a moose.
Drag it along behind you, ride it down
You're
the
thinking
street.
of Salem, Oregon.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Mine would now be a beluga whale because I like their jiggly faces.
That's so cute.
You never want to just
You're
jiggle
not
their.
going to be able to take your beluga whale to
Wait.
Kansas and Missouri.
You can't have a moose, okay? Nor an owl.
I don't want a moose. What would be your familiar then?
Well, I was gonna say bat because I hate them and it
What?
would make me like them.
I was like, you hate them.
I do, but I feel like they like me. So
They do like you. You were the only one realistic with your
yeah, I know.
familiar.
But now I gotta rethink it. So come back to me.
I like your answer.
Thank you.
I
They
like
like
that you're
me.
challenging yourself with your familiar.
I might be scared the whole time, but if I know it's protecting me, I'll be all right. Protecting me from other bats. That's really why.
You're like half vampire, half witch.
Obviously.
At this point, you're just going to go around and be like,
I'm fully supernatural.
and then
Speaking
Boydston just has a
of-
beluga whale.
Listen,
That's my favorite answer so far. Thank
That
you.
was not what I was expecting.
speaking of supernatural things,
Uh-huh.
what are we talking about tonight?
Paranormal.
She's paranormal.
Ooh.
She's so abnormal. Ooh. Okay. Anyhow.
We're doing spooky things.
So we are doing a paranormal episode.
Yes, we are.
So spin that wheel.
Spin.
I want you to know I used the spin the roll the wheel at work this week. It was super helpful.
It decides all major life decisions.
Why haven't I used it before? I can't see.
It's me. She was
It's
holding it up to
Lindsey.
me. All right. I'm going to talk about the Headless Horseman.
Did you ever watch Hey Arnold
Yes.
and their Headless
Their
Horseman?
Halloween.
Yep.
Mhm. It's a good one. So I can never count on you to watch movies, but if it's anything old school Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
you've
Absolutely, yes.
seen it.
Yeah.
That's
That's
all
true.
I did as a child. Play Barbies and watch Nickelodeon.
Somebody at work invited me and you to a movie night, and they're like, "Have you guys seen this movies?" And I was like, "I'll answer for Boydston." The answer is no. She has not seen the movie.
It's an easy one.
You're probably right, but
Back to the Future.
yes. Thank you.
have? Okay.
Marty McFly.
Hold on. What was the other movie? It was Back to the Future, and there was another movie that was an older movie.
Hold up. They invited you to go see that movie?
To have a movie night.
We're going to go back to the future and watch it.
Okay. Sounds fun.
Gosh, what was the other movie? I can't remember it. I don't know. It's left. Anyways, I'm surprised, but okay. Okay. The Headless Horseman has no head. That's
You
my
don't
opening
say.
sentence.
Fascinating.
I always
That'd
thought
be
he was
great.
just hiding it under his collar.
He's just
Like you do in Halloween costumes.
Yes.
Your head's
He's
really
just,
there.
squatting his head down with no
It
neck.
was just for effect.
He's got a
That's perfect.
screen in his top button that he can just see through.
Yes.
Yes. So he's usually seen carrying his head. Or just
my
missing
God.
it altogether.
It's
Can't
fake
find
head.
it. So he is typically on horseback. He is gathered from several folklores, and we're going to kind of go over all of these. So in American folklore, the Headless Horseman is taken from Tarrytown, New York. And it comes from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is a short story written in 1820 by Washington Irving, who is from Tarrytown, New York. So near Tarrytown, New York, it's also called Westchester County, so I'm kind of going to use those interchangeably. So during the American Revolutionary War, there was a Hessian trooper. Is that how they say that? The German soldiers?
No clue.
There were German soldiers who served in the war fighting for the British as mercenaries. So he was killed during the Battle of White Plains in 1776. He was decapitated by an American cannonball, and the remains of his head were left on the battlefield while his comrades carried his body away.
Okay. Hold up. If his head got blown off by a cannonball,
Oh, he did, but they were taking his body to bury.
but
Just-
wouldn't it be in
Elaborate on what that means.
Like it wouldn't be in one piece enough for him to pick it back up and carry it around.
They did not pick up his head. They picked up his body. They left his head, and the remains of his head were on the ground.
Okay.
We're coming to that. So they buried his body in the cemetery of the Old Dutch Church. And legend says he then rose as a malevolent ghost, furiously seeking his head that got left behind on the battlefield.
I get that.
Well, and it's really just parts of his head, but yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to piece it back together,
stuck
buddy.
on that. Yeah.
It's it all back together.
It's Humpty Dumpty over there.
It's Humpty Dumpty head. Sometimes he is seen wielding a jack-o'-lantern as a temporary replacement for his head.
Ooh, I like it.
Spooky.
It's very spooky.
You could have fooled me.
I didn't know.
Oh, that looked like a real head. All right. Modern versions of this story refer his rites to Halloween because the battle took place on October 28th of 1776.
Got it.
Folklore also borrows this legend from, he's called the Dullahan from Ireland. You want to try saying that with your Irish accent?
How do you spell it?
Dullahan.
I don't have Irish accent.
Oh, you don't have that in your repertoire?
No. It's strictly Romanian.
And Russian.
Yes, in Russian.
And occasionally Norwegian.
That one slips out every once in a while.
You have German, too.
Yes, that's true.
German. She has a lot
Why
of
don't
I
you
don't have Irish.
Why don't you try it?
Spell it again?
It's Dullahan. Dullahan.
I can't even think of how they would sound. Listen, skip
British.
over me.
It's from Ireland. And
Probably just like you said it.
A demonic fairy that is depicted riding a horse and carrying his head under his arm.
Question.
Demonic fairy.
Does the fairy ride a fairy-sized horse, or is a fairy on a large horse?
I think fairies can be all sizes.
What?
At least, hold on. In my, because I read a lot, in my fictional books I read, the fairies are all like human sized, like they're normal people sized.
But like Tinkerbell.
Well, yeah,
That's
Tinkerbell.
what I picture him as.
There's little fairies, but there's
I guess
also like adult
maybe
sized
I'm
fairies.
thinking of sprites.
Could be. I bet there's lots of classifications of fairies. The fae.
What?
The fae.
The fae. The knight from the English tale Sir Gawain and the Green Knight also borrows from this story, which I did not read the whole English tale about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. So, like I said, battle happened right before Halloween, so they think that kind of credited to why this folklore became so popular, because people were like, ooh, spooky. It was spooky season in 1776.
Spooky.
Before hashtags, they were already like, it's spooky season. All right, the horseman's ghost tethers his horse to the graves in the churchyard where he is buried, and then he wakes up and sets out at night to find his missing head on his ghost. Which makes me question, is this a ghost horse? Is the horse a ghost?
Yes.
Why wasn't the horse buried?
The horse was also buried.
Maybe it was.
Maybe it was. Okay. Back to the Dullahan in Irish folklore. He is also called, I guess Dullahan means dark man.
Naturally.
He holds a whip made from a human corpse's spine.
Ow. That would hurt.
Yes,
I feel like it would fall apart.
Yeah, you're right. It's got to be like, there's got to be magic there.
I mean, skeletons stay together. Is it the same magic there?
Yeah, but isn't there like tendons and stuff?
They can also fall apart and then get back together.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe his spine whip does that too.
His spine whip is magic, okay?
He is a fairy. He's a headless demonic fairy.
He's a demonic fairy with a magic spine whip.
When he stops riding his horse, a death is said to have occurred.
Oh.
You don't want him to stop riding the horse.
Okie dokie.
He will call out a name, and the named person will immediately die.
Rude.
Don't want him to say your name either. All right, so in another version, he is a headless driver of a black carriage instead of on a horse. I think a black carriage would be more scary than a ghost horse.
You do?
I think so.
I feel like you can't ride as ferociously in a black carriage.
With a ghost horse, I'm thinking of like Thestrals from Harry Potter, the skeleton horses. That's what I'm thinking of. Scottish folklore. We're going to go to Scotland. A man named Ewan decapitated a clan battle. Hey, we're back at clan. So he was decapitated during a clan battle at Glencaneer on the Isle of Mull.
You're doing great.
The battle denied him any chance to be a chieftain, so both he and his horse are headless, and accounts of his hauntings seeking revenge. So in today's culture, the comic book series Chopper, written by Martin Shapiro, is a modern-day reimagining of the Headless Horseman. It features a headless outlaw biker on a motorcycle who collects the souls of sinners. The only people who can see him are those who have consumed an ecstasy-like drug that triggers their sixth sense.
Of course.
And opens a gateway to the afterlife.
Right.
This story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, is what prompted the town of North Tarrytown to officially change its name to Sleepy Hollow in 1996. So it is now Sleepy Hollow, New York. I mean, the story was written in like 1820, but the movie that really like popularized it, if you think about that, that came out in the 90s. So
That was the Johnny Depp one?
that is the Johnny Depp one.
Christina Ricci?
And Christina Ricci. Boydston?
Mm-mm.
Okay, has
I
not
just
seen
watched
it.
it like last year. That was all right.
I've only seen it like once or twice. I haven't seen it very often, but yeah,
That
it was pretty good. All right, so like I said, Washington Irving, who wrote the story, lived in Tarrytown, and he is buried in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery.
Does he have his head?
He does. But do you want to know who else is buried in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery?
Of course.
2 of Alexander Hamilton's children. So Sleepy Hollow High School in New York has the Headless Horseman as their high school mascot.
Obviously.
This is
Why
the
would you
coolest
have it any
high
other
school
way?
mascot
I
ever.
wish I would have gone there.
All right.
Dang it.
Let's see. What else do I got? Okay, so Franz Potter, who is a professor at National University who specializes in Gothic studies, says that the Headless Horseman, as a supernatural entity, represents a past that will never die, but will always haunt the living. Quote, the Headless Horseman supposedly seeks revenge and a head, which he thinks was unfairly taken from him. This injustice demands that he continually search for a substitute. The horseman, like the past, still seeks answers, still seeks retribution, and cannot rest. We are haunted by the past which stalks us so that we never forget it. End quote. Don't take people's heads. Moral of the
I
story.
agree. That was not nice.
So the Headless Horseman is called America's first ghost story. And they say that it has lasted as long as it has because it is always like changing with our imaginations. We keep adapting the story, so it keeps growing. Another quote by Elizabeth Bradley, who is a historian. She said, quote, it inspires people because it reminds them that there are still some American mysteries, some half-truths that may never be fully known, and that is the whole point. The legend lends itself to any interpretation, and it continues to fascinate and terrify us in the best possible way, end quote. So there really was a German soldier who was decapitated in this battle around Halloween, and they're like, hey, that's a half-truth. So now there's a Headless Horseman that is looking for his head.
Fascinating.
Okay.
The end.
I like it.
And obviously there is a movie about it that has made it super famous. If you have not seen it, you should.
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
All right. Ready to spin.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
It's me.
It's you.
Now I have 232 tabs.
Okay, so yes.
Oh, Jesus.
We talked about this before we started recording. On our phones, when you open a new browser to search the interwebs, I have 2 browsers open. Sarah, how many do you have open?
3.
3. Boydston, how many do you have?
232.
Please to God.
I'm getting anxiety thinking about it.
Like, does your phone die because it's running all these things in the background?
Yes, all that memory.
No.
Okay.
And so
Well, that is a lie. Whoever says that.
we're shocked because you are not the person to have 232 tabs open.
I honestly did not know they were there. I did the new iOS update and it tells you exactly how many tabs you have. Because normally they're in like this little carousel.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how have you not just been like scrolling through
I just don't pay attention to it. So I'm going to work on deleting those.
Okay, you work on deleting those. We're going to listen in.
I'm listening.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys about the Devil's Tree.
The devil has a tree?
The devil has a tree.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a tree to steal.
And the devil's tree is in New Jersey. Can you redo that song?
The devil went down to New Jersey. He was looking for a tree to steal.
Doesn't have quite the same ring, but
It
we'll work
doesn't.
on
It doesn't. I like Georgia better.
All right. The Devil's Tree is a solitary oak tree with some dead limbs growing in a field on a mountain road in Bernards Township in Somerset County, New Jersey.
Okay.
Local legends suggest that the tree is cursed, and anyone who damages or disrespects the tree will soon come to some sort of harm, such as a car accident.
This sounds familiar to where we just went. This episode just came out.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Farrar.
Yes.
Oh,
We talked about a
yeah.
tree.
We talked about a magical tree.
I wouldn't say magical.
We talked about a tree.
We talked about a
It
tree.
was electrified.
It's electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie, yeah.
Forgot about that.
I
Is there a
gonna go-
yeah there?
There really isn't. She
No,
just...
there isn't. I liked it.
I listened to that one.
Keep things fresh for you guys.
Boogie, boogie, woogie. Yeah. Oh, thank you. It worked. So yeah, this is similar. Maybe there is a second Devil's Tree in Farrar.
Maybe we saw the other Devil's Tree. The devil went down to Iowa. I don't like it.
She's really trying hard to make that song.
Lindsay, I know a music producer.
I know a music.
I think you can make it big.
Wait, do you really? How have we not talked about this?
I know a music producer just like you're going to make it big singing.
Yes, and that is
Yes.
perfectly in your range.
Suck it, my high school choir teacher.
What did they tell you?
No, I'm kidding. I
Did
was
you
not
sing in
even
the high
in
school
choir. I was in choir in junior high, not high school.
Well,
What happened?
should have kept going.
No, nothing happened. I just realized I was not a good singer. So I took myself out.
You bowed out gracefully. All right. Well, so yeah, you may get in a car accident if you disrespect the Devil's Tree.
No disrespecting the tree.
Don't be doing that.
How do you disrespect a tree?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
Also, it was specifically noted that the disrespect is usually by urinating on the tree.
Up, peeing on the tree.
You might have to use one of those. What are those like female urinal things?
They use like when you go camping.
Yes.
Yes.
A go girl.
Okay, don't use your Go Girl on the Devil's Tree. You're also not supposed to make negative remarks about the tree while nearby. So don't call it ugly. You know, don't make mean comments about it.
Okay.
That's what it says.
Okay.
All right,
The tree has feelings.
It does. The peeing on the tree story actually happened, and that's why they know it's bad news.
Oh, okay. I figured it had to have happened.
Yes, it's very specific. Some dude claimed that it was all a bunch of baloney. You know, he's one of those that's like, yeah, right.
He was Zach.
These don't even happen.
He was being a Zach. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sounds like a Lindsay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Zach started it, so I only aspire to be like that.
So he made his friends drive him up to the tree.
Sure.
All right, because he wanted to check it out. He wanted to prove it wrong.
He wanted to talk about what an ugly tree it was.
That's exactly right. He called it ugly, and then he peed on it. But he said he tried provoking the tree, which
How do you provoke a tree
With
come
pee.
at me, bro.
with a pee?
And guess what? Nothing happened. So then he decided to pee on it, and again, nothing happened. So he was like, ha, "I told you."
The tree was biding its time.
Yeah, it was plotting. So
Plotting?
the tree was.
Like the tree plot.
It was accidental, but it was kind of perfect. Thank you. So anyways, he got back in his car. He began to drive away, and suddenly the gas pedal became floored, and the car began speeding away all by itself.
The tree did it.
He lost control of the car and crashed into the tree.
Oh my goodness. Wait, the tree made him crash into it?
Yep, because the tree will never die.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Was he okay?
The people
Probably
in the
not.
car were okay, but the car was totaled.
Okay.
There are various legends that surround the tree, but a common one is that Bernards Township was one of the headquarters for the Ku Klux Klan in New Jersey. And sadly, the tree had been used to lynch African Americans.
It's interesting that you say that because I was going to say that looks like the tree from Sinister.
It does. Yes. So,
You also said
The
that about
branch.
the tree we saw.
because it
I
looks like it
watched-
has a hanging
Yes.
branch on it, like it goes straight out to the
Yeah.
side. So the tree is more secluded, and it was even more secluded during those times. So it's very isolated, and obviously it was easy to hide from police. And then, as you've already noticed, one of the branches extends almost parallel to the ground, and this was the hanging branch.
Gotcha.
The negative energy comes from the souls of the dead men and women who were killed by this terrible organization.
Mm.
Another claim is that a farmer hanged himself from the tree after he killed his family. They never really were able to verify that, but that's definitely one of the legends that had gone around.
Terrible. Okay.
Yep.
This tree's got some bad juju.
It's the devil's tree.
It is
bad.
the devil's tree.
The tree's thought to be a portal to hell.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where the devil came in.
Yeah. And it's guarded by a sentinel who drives a black Ford pickup truck.
Sure.
It's very specific.
Is it a Ranger?
Ford. Oh, it's going to be like an F-150.
I don't know. It
I
just
bet
says
it's a Ford Ranger.
Could be.
Use your imagination. I think both of you have.
Maybe he
either
upgrades
answer's
it every
acceptable.
year, and it's like a new model every year.
No, it's an old beat up truck.
I think the devil's got lots of money.
I don't think he does. I think he steals.
Yeah, and he's had eternity to steal.
I'm just
Imagine how
letting
much
you
money.
guys bicker about the tree and the devil's money.
It's not about the tree now. It's about the
devil's
car.
money. No, that's what you want. How much money the devil
Devil's
has.
money.
All right. Well, if you get too close to the tree, you're going to get chased by a black Ford pickup truck.
Okay.
Which, again, is oddly specific. And once it gets you far enough away, then it disappears. You'll see headlights 1 second, and the next second, they're totally gone.
Amazing.
Anyone who touches the tree will find that their hands have turned black if they tried to eat at a restaurant. Which their examples crack me
so specific?
No, they're all like that.
Only if you try to eat at a restaurant, but if you go through a drive-thru, you're good.
You're good. If you're inside, though.
Does it specify which restaurant?
It does. So stay tuned. I had to look the story up, right?
It's the Applebee's.
God damn it is an Applebee's. You're ruining my stories.
What did you think of Applebee's?
That's like the redheaded stepchild of restaurants.
The devil went to Applebee's.
Well, I guess that's the end of my story.
I'm sorry.
This is just cracking me up that it's an Applebee's.
Well, I had to look it up because I'm like, that is the weird thing to say. Like, why does it have to be at a restaurant?
But what did they get at Applebee's?
I don't know that. But they did
blondie.
tell the story, which are delicious, by the way. Blondies are delicious. The story is my friends and I went up to the Devil's Tree one night and got out of the car and touched it. I don't know if they said anything to it, but I feel like they did. Afterwards, we went to an Applebee's to get something to eat.
I'm sorry.
And everyone that was sitting at the table suddenly had all of our hands turned black.
They needed to go wash them.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
a dirty tree.
what was going on with that.
Dirty
We don't know
tree.
why, but it took 2.5 hours to get it off of our hands.
They ate their food with
They
black
did.
hands?
I wouldn't resist a blondie. Absolutely not.
Look, well, my hands are probably possessed by this devil tree, but there's a blondie.
It's not like I'm using my hands to like feed my mouth. I'm just using a fork. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
To spoon because it's a la mode.
True that.
Yeah.
I like their triple chocolate meltdowns.
No,
You're
blondie.
wrong. You're wrong. In wintertime, the ground near the tree never has any snow. And it's also been noted to be warm to the touch always,
The tree?
regardless of the season or time of day. Yes, the tree.
Okay.
Oddly enough, a boulder nearby that is called Heat Rock has the same phenomenon.
Is that why they call it heat rock?
I believe it is. I
Okay,
didn't
okay.
research that one, but
It's because it's a portal to hell.
I think
The
it's the
flames.
second portal near the Devil's Tree. Legend said that is because the souls killed at the spot give the tree unnatural warmth. Anyone who tries to cut down the tree comes to an untimely end. Even though there are all these legends around the tree that warn not to cut it down, several people have tried. The trunk of the tree has markings from axes and chainsaws, but no one's been successful. The township decided to leave the tree after everybody tried to cut it down. They just decided, we're going to go ahead and protect it now.
Sure.
So they've posted a sign stating that when it's open to the public, and then they've surrounded it with chain link fence. And you know what this reminded me of, kind of sadly, is when I talked about Stull.
Yeah.
No, it was a portable.
Portal.
It's a portable.
It's a portable portal.
It's another portable portal to hell, and they and they had to surround it with a chain link fence. Also, oh my God, words.
I know. See, they're hard.
I know. So, just briefly about the paranormal activity, some people have claimed to see dead bodies hanging from the tree at night. One person said that when they arrived to the tree, there was a noose hanging from the branch. They decided to climb the tree to remove the noose and began hearing noises coming from inside the tree. At one point, they heard a long bang and a burst of energy came from the tree, which threw them out of the tree, and then they broke their ankle.
Yikes.
Ouch.
I sympathize with hurt ankles.
It was an electric tree. People claim that they've gone up next to the tree and then put their ears on the bark and can hear the sounds of screaming children.
Do their ears turn black?
I did not hear.
Only if they go to Applebee's.
That is the key. If you touch the tree and go to Applebee's.
But if you
over.
go to Olive Garden, you're great.
Yeah,
Probably.
you're fine. Yeah.
Thank you for telling us about the Devil's
Oh,
Tree.
you're welcome.
I enjoyed that
Yes.
story.
Well, thank you.
Do we need to spin to see who's going to go last?
No.
Just taking
Okay.
a little sipsy. The final, the conclusion of the paranormal stories. Let's hear it.
Thank you for introing me.
You're welcome.
We are going to talk about a person
Okay.
named Grimm.
Last name Reaper?
Yes.
Oh.
Prefix is the.
Okay.
I like it.
This is death personified.
This is death.
Okay.
One of the
His
most
nickname.
yes.
Okay.
One of the most common representations of death is the Grim Reaper. Grim is usually a skeletal figure with a dark hooded robe carrying a scythe in one hand and an hourglass in the other. This imagery appeared in Europe during the 14th century, which of course is when Europe was dealing with what was then the world's worst pandemic, the Black Death.
That was a bad one.
Gosh, those pandemics, man, they'll get you.
That's a terrible joke.
Okay, sorry. Sarah laughed at it.
I'm laughing at how awkward it was.
Yeah, so funny. This plague killed about a third of Europe's
What'd you
entire population.
Did you say funny?
Oh, your joke was funny.
No, okay. I did not.
I thought you were telling us a funny fact about a third of people dying.
I thought you were too.
I was like, what?
So fun fact.
No, I was just like, oh, Lindsay, that was a funny joke. By the way,
Oh, okay.
a third of
Two separate
Europe's
thoughts.
entire population was killed.
I'm sorry. Do you want to talk about all the jokes that you have made?
Sure.
List them up.
Go for it.
Was this started by
too
mice?
lazy.
The Black Plague?
Was it? Yeah, rats helped
Fleas?
spread it.
Rats? Fleas?
I know they helped
Mice?
spread it. I don't know about started.
Basically, death was on the minds of many, and the theory is that the Grim Reaper is the image that they conjured to represent it. Fear of dying, along with a general mood of morbidity, hung over all and influenced writers and painters of the time. A little bit about the symbolism. Skeletons, of course, are symbolic of death, representing the human body after it has decayed, which was a common sight with the plague, where it was not uncommon to see stacks of skeletons.
Ew, gross.
The robe is thought to be reminiscent of the robes that religious figures of the time wore when performing funeral services.
Sure.
Another theory is that the darkness represents the fear of the unknown and that black is associated with evil and mystery.
Okay.
I get that.
I get all that. Yeah.
Yep. Fear of the unknown. 100%.
The scythe is taken from agricultural practices of the time where harvesters used them to reap or harvest crops.
Okay. That is true. So is he's reaping and harvesting
He's
bodies.
harvesting souls.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
I went bodies. But souls makes way more sense.
Souls.
Yes.
The hourglass, of course, represents a person's lifetime,
Time's
and
up.
when the last grain of sand falls, the timeline of life is over.
Did you say that so aggressively?
Your time's up, man. That's how I would be as Grim.
You're like, time's up, time to go.
Time's up, man. All right.
Other representations of death include Greek mythology. Death is named Thanatos.
No, I was just thinking like Thanos
Yes.
from
Avengers.
Marvels. And yeah. And he brings death.
He's a jerk.
Interesting. Okay. I just like...
It's all coming together.
Yeah, I just like, when people... I don't know. Okay, never.
I'm with
You
you.
guys are making me feel stupid, so
No,
I'm
I'm with you. I agree. Avengers. Thanos.
Yes.
Death.
Thanatos was the twin brother of Hypnos, the god of sleep. In some illustrations, Thanatos appeared with wings and an extinguished flame. His job was to accompany the departed to Hades, which is the Greek underworld. In Norse mythology, the Valkyries were beautiful young women who served to escort the souls of warriors killed in battle. Valkyries means choosers of the slain, and during battle, they ride on winged horses, surveying the field, and select brave warriors to die.
More from Marvel.
They then transport the souls to the afterlife, where the souls enlist to fight in the Battle of Ragnarok.
Thor.
Yes.
An apocalyptic conflict signaling the end of the world. And that's all I have with movie references.
I'm starting to think that Mr. Stan Lee was familiar with Greek and Roman mythology.
He liked it.
Yes.
Probs. Next, we have the Angel of Death, a spirit that extracts the soul from the body at the moment of death. This appears in many religions and cultures, and in season 2 of American Horror Story.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes,
That was a good one.
it was.
You didn't see it?
I saw season 2. It was not my favorite. I saw it.
Interesting that wasn't your favorite.
I liked it at the beginning, but then the ending, like, I felt like they were trying to throw in too much stuff, and I didn't like it as much.
I can see that. I feel like they wrapped it up pretty good, though.
They wrapped it up pretty good, but I just felt like they were throwing too much in at the end.
It's one of my faves.
I liked it. It wasn't my least favorite season, but it's also not my favorite.
Noted.
Least favorite season, I would say, is probably Carnival. I just didn't really like that one.
I liked that one.
I don't remember it. I'm still catching up. I've seen them. I just don't remember them. So I am currently on Coven.
Coven was a good one.
And
That's my favorite.
we're just rewatching.
They're good to rewatch.
Archangels Michael and Gabriel have acted as angels of death. Azrael is the Islamic angel of death, sometimes appearing as a horrifying spirit with eyes and tongues covering his entire body.
Oh, God.
Tongues?
Ugh.
And eyes.
I don't like either of those things.
Can you just, like, for a second
I don't
picture
want to. I'm
a
trying to.
being with, like, blah, blah, blah. Mhm.
Ew. People are messed up. Why do they think of these things?
I don't know. I'd like to see how that is, though. Somebody draw me a picture.
No.
He records and erases the birth and death of every soul in the world.
That
He's
sounds like a busy
guy.
job.
The Grim Reaper also appeared in the book of Revelation. In Revelation 6, 1-8.
6. Revelation 6 verses 1 through 8 is how you read that. I would say it says the colon. God bless it.
Bless her heart. But there's a colon there.
Yeah, so it means chapter 6 verses 1 through 8.
Yep, that's what I said. And this is where 4 horsemen appear.
When you say the time, do you say it is 8:15?
Sometimes.
I don't know how to okay. No. I would have not known how to say that.
Do you say a comma? Do you say an apostrophe?
Are you Bible shaming us?
No, she's being very condescending. Typical
Why are you
Lindsay.
only
I'm feeling
saying-
some shaming.
Why are you only saying one symbol and not all of them?
We didn't go to Bible school, okay?
I didn't go to Bible school.
I didn't graduate from Bible college.
Okay, that hurt.
It wasn't
It's true, though.
hurtful.
We don't understand.
You were
Thank
shaming
you.
us.
Thank you for teaching us.
Let
in
me repeat.
such a sweet way.
In the book of Revelation,
Okay,
6, verses 1 through 8.
No, that was beautiful.
4 horsemen appear to usher in calamities, signaling the end of the world. The horsemen are pestilence, war, famine, and death.
Those are not nice things.
No, those are all bad things.
You can also read this sentence. The horsemen are pestilence, comma, war, comma.
Commas are important.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. Commas are very important.
Well done.
And sometimes you need to read them aloud.
Yes.
To make your point. I get it.
Good with that.
He rides a pale horse, which is often interpreted as pale green, comma,
Ew.
the color of disease and decay.
Or vomit. I don't know why I thought of vomit.
Okay.
And we're going to end with a couple of frequently asked questions from howstuffworks.com.
Okay.
Okay.
First question. What happens if you see the Grim Reaper?
You die.
Your time is up.
Answer. According to some beliefs, comma, if you are still alive after seeing the Grim Reaper, then you have been selected to become a Reaper after you die.
Oh. Oh, there's more than one.
Well, there's a lot of people dying.
Well, yeah. This whole time I thought there was one.
I did too.
Second question, and we're going to end on this. Does the Grim Reaper kill you?
No.
No, because it's collecting your soul.
No, period. The Grim Reaper is a spectral entity that is believed to be a manifestation of death. The Reaper is not tasked to kill mortals, but merely ferry their souls to the afterlife.
He's not using his scythe to kill you.
We got that answer right.
Yes.
Why is it got to be such a sharp tool to like, if you're already dead and your spirits are ready to go?
Because it makes a nice noise whenever you go really quick.
It is intimidating.
But why? I mean, you're already dead.
Maybe sometimes people don't want to die and they're like, I don't want to go with you. And he's just got the scythe and he's like, listen here.
And that's Grim Reaper.
All right, Grim. Thank
Okay.
you for telling us all about death.
You're welcome.
Fascinating.
That was fascinating. I did not know the story behind the Grim Reaper, so thank you.
Now you do.
Now I do, and I had some frequently asked questions that
You've
me
answered?
learn. We've all learned something today.
I came
Learned
prepared.
about colons and Bible verses.
Yes.
Yep. We've all learned something today.
This is
Look
a
at us.
learning experience.
Learned that
First is the book, then comes the verse.
Chapters.
no chapter.
Chapters,
they were
verses.
God
So the
damn
book,
it.
chapter, the verse.
I learned nothing.
I'll help you. I listened.
Revelation is the book.
Oh, yeah.
6 is the chapter.
Yeah, 6 is the chapter. Verses come after.
Okay, well,
You were close. It's fine.
we'll get this
We'll
someday.
work on it. We'll work on it. It's okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week to The Tipsy Ghost. You can always find us at thetipsyghost.com, and our socials are linked from there. Or send us an email to thetipsyghost@gmail.com.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review anywhere you listen to podcasts. We really appreciate it, and it really does help.
Thanks so much for tuning in this week, guys. We will catch you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.